Okay. So this, yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written two books. One is called Navadvip Dham Mahatmya. One is called Navadvip Dham Taranga. So we will be taking about um, the subject matter of Navadvip Parikrama from both the books. And this is described as a conversation between Jiva Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu went, Jiva Goswami, when Mahaprabhu came to Ram Keli, then Mahaprabhu initiated Rupa and Sanatan. Their name was Dabir Khatin Sakar Malik. They became Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. That time Mahaprabhu also met Jiva Goswami. Then Mahaprabhu told Jiva Goswami that you right now you study scriptures, and after in your teenager, then you come to Navadvip and you will know everything by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. So Mahaprabhu already predestined, because Mahaprabhu knew at that time I won't be there. When Jiva Goswami came to Navadvip, Mahaprabhu has already departed. So after this, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they went to Vrindavan, they started living. And Lord Chaitanya, when he went back to Navadvip, he told Nityananda Prabhu that Jiva Goswami will come. Send him to serve with Rupa and Sanatana Vrindavan. And before that, he will take education from a devotee in Varanasi. His name is also mentioned. Some Vachaspati is there. Vidyanagar Vachaspati, some name is there. So you send him first there to study Vedanta. Madhusudan Vachaspati. You send him there to study Vedanta from him. And then Mahaprabhu also revealed that Madhusudan Vachaspati, although he is disciple and in the line of Shankaracharya, Mayavad philosophy, he is actually my devotee. He teaches Shankaracharya philosophy, but those who are devotees, later on at the end, he present it from the perspective of my teachings. And Jiva Goswami, one of the service of Jiva Goswami would be to write, like establish Siddhanta based on the Vedanta and all the Vedas, Upanishads, and all the scriptures. This is what Jiva Goswami service was. So Mahaprabhu told all these things to Nityananda Prabhu. Then after Jiva Goswami, when he became a, because he was a small child, he was basically son of Anupam. Yeah. Anupam was the real brother of Rupa and Sanatan. So he was like son of Rupa and Sanatan. Very young. So when he grew up, he would study scriptures. Then he went to Navadvip, and it is said as soon as Jiva Goswami reached Navadvip, he bore down to Navadvip Dham. He cried tears of love, calling out Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda. And then he came to this place called Antardvip. We will discuss about the whole structure of Navadvip. He came to this place. There he was looking for Nityananda Prabhu, because Mahaprabhu already told Jiva Goswami that you go and take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu in Navadvip after a few years, in your teenager years. Then Nityananda Prabhu already knew Jiva Goswami is coming. The news reached Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu was married. He was, this after Mahaprabhu's departure, he was staying with Janama Mata, Vasudha. And he was in Kardaha, where we will also go. Then the news reached Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu became very joyful. He started calling out Jiva, Jiva. Then there is a meeting in Antardvip of Nityananda Prabhu and Jiva Goswami. And that's where Jiva Goswami made a request to Nityananda Prabhu that I have a desire to see the Dham. Can you show it to me, please? And Nityananda Prabhu said, yes, you follow me. And it is said that great sages after lifetimes of lifetimes also cannot get the association of Nityananda Prabhu, and he is personally taking Jiva by the hand and revealing the Navadvip Dham. So this discussion about the glories of Navadvip Dham is actually emanating from the lotus mouth of Nityananda Prabhu to Jiva Goswami. So this whole book is interaction of Nitya Prabhu and Jiva Goswami as were revealed in an inner meditation to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So that's why this book is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And we know that perfected souls know everything by their inner revelations and meditations. So this is where the subject matter is taken from, the excellence of Navadvip Dham. Devarshi Narada, Shri Uddhav, and other exalted saints possess a high caliber of prema, but still they aspire to acquire this rarely attained Vraj prem. We see that how Uddhav, he wanted to just become a blade of grass. How Narad Muni, he wanted to participate in Lord Krishna's pastimes. And they are like, I mean, practically Bhagavatam is like disciple of Narad Muni. So they also, it is very difficult for them also to attain Vraj prem. In Nectar of Instructions, Srila Prabhupada writes, even Narada and others aspire for a bath in Radha Kund. A bath in Radha Kund. Even Narad Muni, it's very rare to for him to have it. And there Prabhupada writes, one bath in Radha Kund can award Krishna prem. One bath in Radha Kund. And today I was hearing a lecture by Shivram Maharaj and he was mentioning that it can, but because of our offenses, that prema does not uh, manifest immediately. But because it is installed in our heart by such a baby, gradually as we become more and more purified, that prema emanates. But it is installed in our heart. So it is so difficult even for them to attain prema. Sri Gaur Sundar Abode easily bestows this prema to sadhakas who take its shelter. In conclusion, Sri Navadvip Dham is as supremely magnanimous as Sri Gaur Sundar himself. So we see, like, we know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more magnanimous than Lord Krishna. Krishna killed the demons and Mahaprabhu gave him the vocal. Krishna sent them to Brahman realization. And Mahaprabhu took them to Golok. So this is Mahaprabhu's mercy. So his dham is also as magnanimous as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord eternal pastimes are eternal as confirmed in Bhakti Ratnakar. Adyapiha se lila kare gaura rai, kona kona bhagyavan dekhi bare pae. Even today, Sri Gaur Sundar performs pastimes here with his associates, but only an exceedingly fortunate living entity can behold them. So we will see a lot of parallel between Vraj Dham and Navadvip Dham. We know Lord Krishna is having unmanifest pastimes in Vrindavan, like my Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is manifesting, un performing aprakat leela in Navadvip Dham. And only pure souls can see Krishna's pastimes and Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Now here is the beginning of this book. That was the introduction. Jayo Jayo Navadipa Chandra Sachi Sutta Jayo Jayo Nityananda Raya Avadhuta. All glories to Sri Sachinandana, the moon of Navadvip. All glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the Avadhut. So first Bhaktivinoda Thakur is in invocation prayers, invoking the mercy of the Panchatattva. Jaya Jaya Shri Advaita Prabhu Mahashaya Gadadhara Srivasa Pandita Jaya Jaya. All glories to Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu. All glories to Shri Gadadhar Pandit and Srivas Pandit. Jaya Navadipa Dhama Sarva Dhama Sar. Jaya Navadipa Vasi Gaura Parivar. All glories to Shri Navadip Dham, the essence of all holy abodes. Sarva Dham Sar. Jai Navadip Vasi Gaura Parivar. All glories to the inhabitants of Navadip, the family of Sri Gaura. Sakala Bhakta Pade Kariya Pranam Sangshepe Varniba Ami Navadipa Dham. Paying my respects at the lotus feet of all devotees, I, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, will briefly describe Sri Navadip Dham. जे अवधि श्री चैतन्य अप्रकट haila Dhama Leela Prakashita Bhakta Agya Leela. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu concluded his manifest pastimes, he told the devotees to reveal the pastimes of Sri Navadvip Dham. So when Mahaprabhu was there, Mahaprabhu did not reveal. He just came, performed pastimes and went. He did not reveal the importance of Navadvip Dham. So when he departed, he told Nityananda Prabhu that you should let the glories of Navadvip Dham be known. And he told other devotees, let the glories of Navadvip Dham be known. It is said before Mahaprabhu's appearance, Navadvip Dham was equally as powerful, but the Dham was covered by the illusory energy. So nobody would know the glories of this Dham. So after, just before his departure, he told Nitai, you make it known. And then later on, the Lord told, naturally Navadvip Dham was covered by Ganga. Then later on, the Lord told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, let the glories emanate the glories of Navadvip Dham. And that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is called the seventh Goswami. Because six Goswamis Prakashit the Vrindavan Dham, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur made Navadvip Dham as Prakashit. Sarva Avatara Haite Gura Avatar Shri Chaitanya Chandra Mora Vidita Samsar. The descendant of my most worshipful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more confidential than all other incarnations of the Lord. This is well known throughout the entire universe. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is trying to establish the tattva of Navadvip Dham. So he's saying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more confidential and most merciful. Guda Lila Shastra Guda Rupe Uktahai Abhakta Janera Chitte Nahaya Uday. In the scriptures, confidential pastimes are described in a hidden way. Such pastimes do not appear in the hearts of non-devotees. It is said in all the scriptures, Mahaprabhu pastimes are there. His mother's name, his father's name, he performs Sankirtan, but nobody knows. Although they read scriptures, nobody knows. So illusory energy covers the Lord. Likewise, the Lord's pastimes. Like we see in where does it says that the Lord will take sannyas? In Mahabharata is there. Mahabharata. In that Vishnu Sahasranam it's there. That he will appear in golden complexion and he will take sannyas and he will glorify his own devotional service. This is mentioned. But then nobody knows. Likewise, it's mentioned. In Quran also it's mentioned. In there is Atharvaveda, Chaitanya Upanishad, there it is mentioned. He will deliver the Brahmana. So his pastimes are there, but not known. Anybody reads, they cannot relate who. They just keep going forward. So narratives of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were described in many places, both in scriptures made known to the public, as well as in scriptures not known that were kept here and there. However, Maya Devi always kept them concealed from the eyes of the scholars. When Sri Gaura Sundar completed his profound pastimes, Maya Devi, being faithful to his will, removed the covering from the eyes of the Jivas and revealed within this material world the true nature of Sri Gaura. When Mahaprabhu was there, very confidential people will understand that he is Krishna. Most will not understand. But after Mahaprabhu left, everybody is coming to know. It is made like.
That's always the case, like even when Krishna was there, when people took him to just be ordinary philosopher or something like that.
Yeah.
Very few people knew that he's Bhagwan.
Badai Dayalu Prabhu Nityananda Rai Gaura Tattva Prakashila Jivirahi Aaye. The supremely merciful Sri Nityananda Prabhu revealed Gaura Tattva in the hearts of the living entities.
The previous one is interesting. It means both. Jiva as in Jiva Goswami and Jiva as in Jiva.
Tanra Atsa Pe Maya Chade Avarana Subhakta Pandita Gana Paya Shastra Dharna. On Sri Nityananda Prabhu's order, Maya Devi removed the covering she had placed over the scriptures, and the learned pure devotees obtained the wealth of the scriptures. So Maya Devi will not let excess. Although they will read, they will not understand. So Nityananda Prabhu told Maya Devi, uncover it. So when the devotees now read, they can, oh, this is Mahaprabhu. Now they can read it. Previously, when devotees cannot understand Mahaprabhu because it was the Lord's desire. Offenses. Anyatite aparadhi dandera bhajana navadipe aparadha sadai marjana. In other holy places, an offensive person has to suffer the reaction of his aparas, but in Navadip, offenses always remain far away. So it is described in Navadip, no offenses. Other acts, very merciful. But in Vrindavan, Haribol Vega. Virat Khan. But Mahaprabhu worship also no offenses. Quarantine worship, very easy. Otherwise, we would not survive.
Like if offense is done to other devotees, will not.
Devotee offense will be counted. To Dham or misbehave improperly or
That will be.
none of those are there. But Vaishnava Aparadha is like everywhere.
Default.
अन्याना तीर्थेरा कथा राखा भाई दूरे अपराधी दैत्य danda paya brajapure. What to speak of other holy places? Even in Vrajadham, the offensive demons are punished. That's down also.
Japan gets low already. This
Nava-
picture of Nityananda Prabhu and
Jiva Goswami. Navadvipe shata shata aparadha kari anayase nitai kripaya jayatari. However, even if one unknowingly commits hundreds of offenses in Sri Navadvip, he can easily be delivered by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Hundreds of offenses, no problem. Like yesterday, Chandrasekhar Maharaj was mentioning, so many offenses we are doing, it's just not revealed to us how many offenses we are doing. We only see one or two. And we like, oh, I offended devotee. But there's so many we don't even see. It's like, because it's like, our swabha.
Yeah, so conditioned to it.
But in Navadip, then it doesn't matter. And that's why devotee takes shelter of Navadip Dham. The result of going to Navadip. Navadipe jeba kabhu karai gamana sarva aparadha mukta haya sai jana. Any person who goes to Navadip Dham will be freed from all kinds of offenses. This is correct. If you go to Navadip Dham, you will be free from all kinds of offenses just by going there. The result of remembering Navadip. Sarva Tirtha Brahmiya Tirthika Jaha Paya Navadip Smarana Say Labha Shastra Gaya. All the scriptures proclaim that a person who simply remembers in Navadip will attain the same result as a pilgrim who visits all holy places.
Some hopeful.
So if you just remember, you get the benefit of visiting all the holy places. The result of visiting Navadip. Navadvipa darshana kare je jana janme janme labhe se Krishna prema dhana. One who visits Navadip Dham attains the treasure of Krishna prema life after life. Anya tirtha yogi dasha Varshe la bhejaha Navadvipe tina ratri sadhi payataha. The result a yogi obtains after 10 years in any other holy place are obtained by staying in Navadvip for just 3 nights. Stay for 3 nights, you get the result of 10 years. Are we staying 3 nights? How many nights we are staying? 3 nights. Good decision. Yes. So if you stay there 3 nights, you get the result of 10 years of staying in any other holy place. The result of taking bath in Bhagirathi Ganga in Navadip. Anyatithe Brahma Gyane Jai Mukti Haya Navadipe Bhagirathi Snaneta Ghataya. That liberation acquired in other holy places through arduous practice of Brahma Gyan, meditating upon the impersonal absolute, is obtained in Sri Navadip Dham by simply bathing in Bhagirathi Ganga. It is said that Ganga in Navadip is very powerful. It is said bathing in Yamuna is 1,000 times more purifying than bathing Ganga. But bathing in Ganga in Navadip gives the same benefit as bathing in Yamuna. And also bathing in the ocean in Puri give the same benefit of bathing in Ganga here and in Yamuna. The result of residing in Navadip for 1 night. Sata Varsha Shapta Tirthe Mile Jaha Bhai Navadvipe Eka Ratra Vasetaha Pai. Oh brother, the result one obtains from residing for 100 years in the seven holy places, Ayodhya, Mathura. Actually, Mathura is Vrindavan is also part of Mathura. Ayodhya, Mathura, Mayapuri, which is Haridwar, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, Ujjain, and Dwaravati, Dwarka can be obtained by residing only one night in Srinagar. So how do we understand? It says 100 years in Ayodhya, Mathura, Vrindavan is equivalent to one night in Srinagar. This sounds like very like uh, unlimitedly glorious. 100 years in Mathura and Vrindavan is equivalent to one night in Navadvip. How do we understand? It's because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibiting that amount of mercy. So Dham is also exhibiting that amount of mercy. And that's why we see um, Jagat Das Babaji Maharaj, where he would do his sadhana, Vrindavan, 30 years. Then he packed his bag and went to Navadvip to do his sadhana. Gaur Babaji Maharaj, where he would do his sadhana, Vrindavan, again 25, 30 years. Packed his bag, went and did his sadhana in Navadvip. And I was hearing like Shiva Maharaj says to develop Raj Prema, Navadvip is more conducive to develop Raj Prema. Like past 6 months, Maharaj is staying in Navadvip Dham only. Previously, even Shiva Maharaj would stay in Vrindavan for 6 months, 8 months. Now, he spent most of his time in Mayapur only. I have seen many devotees. Initially, we are very much attracted to Vrindavan, initially. But as they progress, they realize Navadvip is the only home. It is said over a period of time, only Navadvip will remain, everything else will be covered.
Yeah.
And if you remember, we discussed in the beginning, um, very interestingly, when Maharaj mentioned Shri Bhakti Chintamani, the pastime of what were those devotees? That whole storyline.
Yeah, we heard that. What is the name of the devotees? You were Maharaj at the beginning, tell right? Couple of days.
So we see Achyutananda attain perfection in Navadvip. He went to Vrindavan many times, but when he was in Navadvip, then Nityananda Prabhu gave him the mercy, and then he could understand who he is, and it was revealed to him. So Navadvip Dham, here Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, and where did Bhaktivinoda Thakur reside? Navadvip. He has his home in Vrindavan also, but Mahaprabhu did not let him go. Even our Saraswati Thakur, Navadvip. That's why he got him. All our acharyas, Mahaprabhu is still Goswami is Vrindavan, but Mahaprabhu himself Navadvip, and his associates Navadvip only. They never went to Vrindavan, right? There is no mention of many of the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ever went to Vrindavan, but Navadvip they all went to him. Hena Navadvip Dhama Sarva Dhama Sar Kalite Ashraya Kari Jiva Haya Par. Shri Navadvip, this Shri Navadvip Dham is the essence of all holy places. In Kali Yuga, the living entity can easily cross the ocean of material existence simply by taking shelter of this holy abode. If you see how many devotees live here, Krishna Balaram Mandir.
Very few.
I mean, there are many, maybe
Compared to
400-500 devotees, maybe 300 devotees.
compared to
But in Mayapur, there are like 2,000-3,000 devotees. So that also shows that most of devotees also take shelter of Navadvip comparatively. In Kali Yuga, the living entity can easily cross the ocean of material existence by taking shelter of this holy abode. Nitai Janava Pada Chaya Jara Asha Shail Bhakti Vinoda Gaya Paya Udasa. Bhakti Vinod, whose desire is to obtain the cooling shade of lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Janava Devi, is full of joy singing the glories of Sri Navadvip Dham. This is the last slide of this presentation. We have one more to cover for today. This was just about how glorious is Navadvip Dham. And every chapter. This is the first chapter of Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, and every chapter ends with this. Nitai Janava Pada Chaya Jara Pasa. Bhaktivinoda, who desired to obtain the cooling shade of lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Janava Devi. So, like, this is like aspiring for, just like we see Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is aspiring for Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara, Chaitanya Charitamrita Kai Krishna Das, aspiring to obtain the lotus feet of Rupa and Raghunath. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ends all the chapter by saying, aspiring the lotus feet of Chaitanya Prabhu Janava Mata, I am trying to sing the glories of Sri Navadvip. The circumference of Sri Gaura Mandal and Sri Navadvip. Sri Gaura Mandala Eka Vimshati Yojana Madhya Bhage Ganga Devi Rahe Anukshana. The circumference of Sri Gaura Mandal is 21 yojanas, 168 miles. And Sri Ganga Devi is in its center, always flowing throughout. So there are two places. One is called Gaura Mandal and one is called Navadvip Mandal. So Navadvip Mandal is the center and Gaura Mandal is around bigger area. The center of Gaura Mandal is Navadvip Mandal. If you go to Navadvip, they do Gaura Mandal Parikrama. They also do Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. Gaura Mandal Parikrama takes months. Because it's like 168 miles. Gaura Mandal Parikrama. Just like in Vraja, we have Vrindavan Parikrama and we have Chaurasi Kos Parikrama. Chaurasi Kos Parikrama usually takes a month. That is, Chaurasi Kos is how many miles?
Kos means miles only, right?
Kos is miles? Yeah, then 84 miles. This is 168 miles. So it takes like almost 3 months at least. Satadala Padmamaya Mandala Akar Madhya Bhage Navadvipe Atishobhata. Shri Gaura Mandal is like a lotus flower with 100 petals, with a supremely beautiful Shri Navadvip situated at its center. So how many petals of Navadvip?
100.
And how many petals in Navadvip?
9.
Eight petals.
8.
And Gaura Mandal has 100 petals. And the center of that petal is Navadvip. So it's like a lotus within a 100 petal lotus. There's an 8 petal lotus inside. Panchakrosha Hayatara Keshara Adhara Parimala Purna Pushpa Yojana Chatvara. This most fragrant flower, Shri Navadvip, has 8 petals and measures 4 yojanas, 32 miles or 16 koshas. Okay, so 32 miles is 16 kosha. 32 miles is 16 kosha. So 84 kosh is into 2. 32 miles 16 kosha. No? So 84 kosh is 168 miles.
132 miles.
168.
3024.
84 is 84. 84 into 2. 168. We're talking about Vraj Mandal. Vraj Mandal is 84 kosh. So that became 168 miles.
16 miles means? Stop me.
See, number of miles is 2 miles is 1 kosha.
2 miles is 1. Oh,
So
then 84.
the 168. And Gaura Mandal is 186. That is 164. So not much difference. 168 and 186. Gaura Mandal little bit. And Navadvip is 16 kosha or 32 miles. Navadvip, just the 9 petals. In the middle of this flower is a stamen-like base, which is Antardvip. The circumference of Antardvip is 10 miles or 5 koshas. So, how long is Antardvip?
5 miles. 5 koshas. 10 miles.
10 miles. And how big is Navadvip.
32.
And how big is Goramandal?
160.
186 miles.
160.
So this is about Antardvip. Bahira papadi tara satadalahaya ekadika yojan vim shati vistaraya. The outer portion of this lotus flower is the entire Goramandal with its 100 petals. It has a circumference of 21 yojanas, 168 or 84 koshas. So this is also 168 miles too. So
86,
both are same.
168, both are same.
Both are same. Goramandal and Braj Kosh Parikram both are same. 168 miles. So this is a picture as you see here. There is 100 petals in Goramandal, 168 miles. Inside there is Navadvip, the circumference 32 miles. And if you see the 8-petal lotus, inside is Antardvip. And inside the Antardvip, the central point is Yoga Peeth. Yoga Peeth is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Yoga Peeth is the central point where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. In Navadvip Dham. And around that there is Simanta Dweep, Godrum Dweep, Madhya Dweep, Kola Dweep, Rudra Dweep, Jahanu Dweep, Modadruma Dweep, and Rudra Dweep.
So how many miles?
Ritu Dweep and Rudra Dweep.
Govardhan Parikrama is how many miles?
21.
21 kilometers.
Kilometers, not miles. Then.
So that will be like around 13, 14 miles.
And so Navadvip Parikrama is much more bigger.
Navadvip 32 miles 3 times. Navadvip area is big actually. It's really big.
I'm thinking that if we decide to do Parikrama, Govardhan and we will take it back.
No, it won't be possible.
So
Usually
Dham Parikrama is not in one day, right? Usually people do that.
1 week they take usually.
Mhm.
And they go in the night wherever they are, they sleep there, then prasadam is arranged. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the best time to do parikrama of Navadvip is between January and March. That is, and during that time they do Gaur-Mandal Parikrama, Navadvip Parikrama, different tours. Some do like 2 months Gaur-Mandal Parikrama, and just before God Purnima, 1 or 2 weeks before, they do Navadvip Parikrama. Thousands of devotees come. Just like, it's very glorious actually. Somehow we have never been in that environment so far. We were never exposed to that.
So what cities?
What city is in?
What cities are in that 168 mile? Bigger.
Yeah, this Panihati comes there,
Yeah.
Calcutta. And there are many places that comes in Gaur-Mandal Parikrama.
Mhm.
Navadvip is only limited to the 9 islands.
Kolkata is coming there.
Yeah,
It comes. Even like Panihati is in Kolkata, it's in the Gaur-Mandal Parikrama. They go there. So Mahaprabhu's pastime happens throughout Gaur-Mandal Parikrama. Navadvip is even more concentrated. Like even
And what is Mayapur? Mayapur is
Navadvip.
Mayapur.
yeah. Generally, when we to refer to Mayapur, generally we refer to Antardvip. Generally, when we say we have to go to Mayapur, then within Antardvip.
And Navadvip means the 8 petals covering
The whole, with Antardvip,
all
8
the
petals, so 9 islands. So that becomes Navadvip,
Navadvip, yes, it was 9.
9 islands.
Mayapur birthplace.
Yoga Peeth is in Mayapur. That is the birthplace. Within Yoga Peeth, there are 6 places to visit within Yoga Peeth. Those places we'll discuss next week. Today just Mahima, and then we'll do individual parikrama. It just 5-6 sessions are okay for this Navadvip Dham parikrama. The true nature of Sri Navadvip Dham is revealed. Chintamani Rupahaya Ei Mandal Chidananda Maya Dhama Chinmaya Shakala. This holy abode of Gaur Mandal is like a Chintamani or a desire fulfilling gem. It is constituted of knowledge, bliss, and all that is within it is transcendental. We hear that even Raj is Chintamani, like as God Mandal or Navadvip Mandal dust is also Chintamani. Jala Bhumi Vriksha Adi Shakali Chinmaya Sada Vidyamana Tatha Krishna Shakti Traya. Everything in Gaura Mandal, including the water, land, and trees, is transcendental. The three spiritual potencies of Sri Krishna, Sandhini, Samvit, and Haladini, are always present here. So just like in Vrindavan, every tree, every is Kalpavriksha, is transcendental. Likewise in Gaura Mandal also, water, land, trees, everything is transcendental. It's very difficult to understand. Gaura Mandal means 168 miles, means even some part of Calcutta. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the um, the trees, land, water, everything is transcendental. Swarupa Shakti Rajai Sandhini Prabhava Tara Parinati A Dhamira Swabhava. The constitutional nature of the transcendental Dham is a transformation of the Sandhini potency. Sandhini is a division of Sharup Shakti, the Lord's internal energy. This we are aware of. There is Sandhini, Samvit, and Haladini, and Sandhini is the Dham. Internal, external. That is different. Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tathashtam. This is Haladini is Radhanani, and Samvit is cognizance, knowledge, and Sandhini is existential or Dham potency. Sandhini is represented by Balaram, Samvit by Yogamaya, and Haladini by Srimati Radharani. This Dham is eternal because it is the place of Sriman Mahaprabhu's pastimes. None of the functions of the Supreme Lord's inconceivable potency, Achintya Shakti, are material. Nevertheless, conditioned souls, misled by ignorance, perceive the Dham from an external perspective as mainly the material world. Just like, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur has the Dham, Navadvip Dham revealed to him. But we may not be able to see it because we are covered by ignorance. Just like we may not be able to see the transcendental nature of the holy name, the transcendental nature of the deities. We see Gaunata, we see, okay, somebody is there. That's all right. But like they reveal, the holy name reveal, the Dham reveal based on our purity. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Navadvip Dham is revealed, that's why he's right. But for us, Braj also, because the thing is, by hearing, we change our consciousness. We have a particular consciousness for Braja because we have heard so much. Vrindavan, 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 Vrindavan. We're like, okay, yeah, Vrindavan is transcendental. These trees are here. Why? Because we have heard so much. So likewise, when we hear about Navadvip, then we feel like, okay. Otherwise, it's very difficult to perceive because to see every tree is transcendental. It's not easy. To see this land is the dust is transcendental. So by pure devotee's vision, we can see things. One whose vision is covered by a cloud may think that the cloud is covering the sun, but the sun cannot be covered by a cloud. Similarly, although this Gaura Mandal is transcendental, one with material intelligence sees the Dham as material. Bahirmukha Jiva Chakshu Kare Avarana Chidadhama Prabhava Sabena Paya Darshana. This illusory energy covers the eyes of the living entity who have turned away from the Lord. For this reason, not everyone can perceive the influence of this transcendental abode. Why? Because Maya covers the abode. So it's very difficult to see the transcendental nature of the abode. Nityananda Kripa Jara Pratika Buhai Sedeke Ananda Dham Sarvatra Chinmaya. Whoever gets the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu will perceive the spiritual nature of the blissful Dham. So how can we see the Dham as transcendental? He will reveal. Because Mahaprabhu invested him that you reveal. So he will reveal the Dham to us by his mercy. Ganga Yamunadi Tatha Sada Vidyaman Saptapuri Prayagadi Ache Sthana. To such a person, it is revealed that Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, and other holy rivers perpetually flow together here, and that Prayag and the other 7 holy cities are present at various important places. So, what does this mean? All the holy rivers reside here, including Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes on to the list of Kaveri, Sindhu, and Narmada, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives the whole list of all the rivers that reside in Dham. And also all the holy Saptapuri Prayag Adi, Ache Sthan. All the holy places also resides in Navadvip Dham. Does all the holy places reside in Raja? And all the holy places also reside in. Like for example, where is Radha Kund in Navadvip? It's mentioned Ritudvip. One of the 9 attributes is Radha Kund. And then there's a description of like Antardvip is said it is Gokul. And Madhyamdvip is Govardhan. And then there is Shivasangam Rasastali, yes. And there is a description of how this places and where the holy places reside in Navadvip. Just like we have Adi Badri, we have Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri. Likewise, there's a description like, because we hear Vrindavan Mahatmya, we have read Vrindavan Mahatmya, so now we know so much about.
Yeah.
Navadvip is like completely black box for us. So when we hear, oh, okay. So one time we hear, we'll accept with a pinch of salt. Then we hear again, then we're like, all right. Just like when we hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the beginning, what do we say? All right. Then we hear 500 times, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna only. So like, our conviction builds because we see with medial intelligence, right? So we don't accept right away. So we hear with pinch of salt. Okay. Bhakti Thakur telling maybe right. But then at some point of time, it prakashit hota hai. But when will it be made prakashit to us? By Master Nityananda Prabhu. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. How do we have that conviction now? Because it's an internal revelation. Till that time we accept with a pinch of salt, right? सालों तक हम ऐसे ही कि नित्यानंद प्रभु बलराम है महाप्रभु सालों तक नहीं एटलीस्ट कुछ महीने तो ऐसे ही उसमें we accept theoretically but we don't अभी भी doubt is there.
Yes. अभी भी ऐसे नहीं कि
100% faith.
अगर होता तो नवदीप धाम में उतना ही faith होता.
हाँ. So doubt is there, but it is gradually revealed as we receive more and more mercy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing this Prabhu when he has realized his spiritual story. And Nityananda Prabhu is revealing to Jiva Goswami. Nityananda Prabhu tells Jiva Goswami, I'll tell you something which nobody knows. And then he tells that Goloka has 2 parts. One is Madhurya, one is Audarya. This is all from this book only. And Madhurya is Braja and Audarya is Navadvip, and they are copy of each other. There's like 2 sections and they are copy of each other. So they manifest simultaneously because Navadvip is also created by Radharani. The section we will see maybe in some time in future. So there's like 2 sections. But because we have never heard about it, and we feel like मान लेते हैं. We conflict तो कर नहीं सकते कि हम प्रभुपाद followers हैं हम लोग भक्ति ठाकुर पे faith है तो मानना ही पड़ेगा. But slowly प्रकाशित होता है. Kripa अनुसार. But at least theoretically we can develop that vision of what we are hearing. So how do we understand 10 years of Mathura is 1 night of Navadvip? This is very difficult to understand. Imagine why all the great souls at later stage in their life take shelter of Navadvip. Right now we are very interested in Vrindavan, right? But we are relatively okay for Navadvip. We want to see at least one time we should see. But we are excited for Vrindavan generally. So slowly this thing will be Prakash. Otherwise, why would even today's sannyasis, they spend most of their time, like I was reading a post, Maharaj was mentioning, today I was listening a podcast by Shivram Maharaj, he's telling past 6 months I'm in Mayapur. This podcast is released like 4 days back. So he's saying past 6 months I'm in Mayapur and just absorbed in writing. So he has only one service for Prabhupada, he keeps on writing. So why would they take so many months and stay in Navadvip instead of in Vrindavan? कुछ तो उनको मिला होगा, right? When the demigods,
I think like already as you mentioned, this potency of Navadvip Dham is gonna increase. Till now we don't know, but maybe more and more devotees have things progress,
yes.
like Maharaj and all others.
Good.
Now,
We're just about to end. There's just 2-3 slides more before we end this. And Mahatmya of the Dham.
Recording हो रहा है.
When the demigods in Swarga see people living in Gaura Mandal, they perceive that all the inhabitants of this 32 mile 16 koshas area of Navadvip Dham have a golden complexion and they're always absorbed in Nam Sankirtan. When they see in Puri, what do they see? Vishnu form, right?
Yes.
So when demigods see Navadvip, what do they see?
Golden form.
Mahaprabhu.
Huh.
All the inhabitants.
All they have is a golden form and they all raise their hands in doing Sankirtan. It's like how they see Navadvip Dham or the residents of Navadvip Dham. यही सब विषय भाई तारका परिहारा तारका से अपार्था अति अमंगलकारा. Oh brothers, avoid using mundane logic in regard to these topics because logic is useless and inauspicious. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, don't use your mind to understand. Don't use your logic, mundane logic. Why? Because it is useless and inauspicious. Because then you will find fault.
Calculation.
How is it possible? How do I understand? Or present doubt on intellectual level. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying it is inauspicious. Whatever I am saying, don't use your mind.
उनको पता है कि हम लोग करेंगे इसलिए वो बोल रहे हैं मत करो.
Even Prabhupada multiple times in Bhagavatam said that whatever he's writing is not even slightly exaggerated. Like, there were millions of people or billions of people in Dwarka. How can billions of people say, and if you think of it logically, it's not possible. In such a small space,
With our time and intelligence, we think like that. So that's why he's saying don't. Prabhupada knew कि हमने time and intelligence हम लोग वैसा सोचेंगे इसलिए he's saying like
Don't use.
particularly don't.
And this is one of the offense to holy name, right? What is that? To disregard the injunctions of Vedic scriptures.
Slightly.
The glory of Mahamudra to the imagination.
Or anything related to Krishna. Krishna's Nam, Krishna's Dham, anything related to the like Vedic scripture as an exaggeration. So don't think this glories of Navadvip Dham is an exaggeration.
I think one place where Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Mahaprabhu के पास टाइम पे ऐसे लिखते हैं ना कि so many people, millions of people came taking measures. Don't doubt, don't even keep the doubt that how it is possible.
Otherwise, he said you will be destroyed.
Otherwise, your life will be spoiled or something.
Yeah,
he
you'll be
says.
destroyed.
Yeah,
So-
I was also mentioning in lecture that when Lord Chaitanya was at whose house, someone's house, and then everyone came to see him. No. Then people were crossing rivers with
With the Vachaspati.
with banana plants and
This is
and
during
that.
his
And
Ram
then-
ke liye.
and then on one branch there were 100 people.
They get on a boat and boat will break.
Don't doubt it.
On the tree, right?
Yeah, on that tree. One branch had 100 people.
Actually, relatively, this is not long, but this is 500 years back now, right?
Yeah. Very nice description comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Mahaprabhu will go to Ram Kelina,
Yes.
attempt to Vrindavan, then this will come. Right now, Mahaprabhu is where?
अभी तो पूरी जगह खुली है.
है ना? So next is Ram Keli only.
Oh,
Yeah.
so then we will be the same.
And then he will come back. Then he will go to Vrindavan. We are on 14th chapter. 17th chapter is Lord visit to Vrindavan.
Attempt to
Just 2 chapters later.
And then only I think Sanatan Goswami because they don't go to Vrindavan with these men, these followers.
That is in before only.
attempt.
6th chapter only. 17th chapter is Vrindavan. 16th chapter is attempt to Vrindavan. 15th chapter is pastimes in Vrindavan, which is Gundicha. And 14th is where we are.
Oh, okay. The student is going to.
Yeah, it's like, that's why I thought, this is very nectarian. So we should not stop.
How is past time in Vrindavan will be like?
Gundicha is Vrindavan.
Okay, Gundicha. So Mahaprabhu is remembering.
Mahaprabhu is remembering. Mahaprabhu is performing pastimes in Gundicha. We are discussing today.
Okay.
His water pastime. These are pastimes in Vrindavan. Gundicha pastimes. Then comes whatever we discussed. Back to repeat. But in 2 chapters, he will make an attempt to Vrindavan, and that's where this pastimes come from. To Vidya Vachaspati's home, Shantipur, and all the places he goes before he and hundreds of thousands of people are there. यही सब विषय भाई तारा का परिहार. तारा का means intelligence. तारा का से अपार्था अति अमंगलकार, बहुत अमंगल बन जाएंगे आप. Means you'll become very inauspicious if you use your logic. Avoid using mundane logic in regard to these topics because logic is used as an inauspicious. सही सब शास्त्र पढ़ा साधु वाक्य माना tabeta hai betava navadipa jnana. Study all these scriptures and have faith in the words of the sadhus. Then you will understand the glories of Sri Navadvip. So he's telling have faith in sadhus. He's writing it. He's telling read it and have faith. Then you will understand the mahima of Navadvip. Otherwise, what? How will you understand? So have faith in the word of sadhus. Only Navadvip Dham is powerful in Kali Yuga. Kali Kale Tirtha Sabha Atyanta Durlabha Durbala Navadvipe Tirtha Matra Parama Prabala. All sacred places are extremely weak in Kali Yuga. Sri Navadvip Dham alone is supremely powerful. You know that. You have heard many
Yes.
times.
Like the potential and the potency decreasing.
Yeah. So whatever we have heard now, we accept ideally. Whatever we have not heard now. Okay.
Next time.
Huh?
Next time the multiple here and then our brain will accept it.
Gradually, you have to accept this. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur telling. And it will become a realization. But just a matter of, we are beginning here. Just a matter of time. Prabhura Ichaya Saiti Tabahudina Aprakata Mahima Achila Smrtihina. By the desire of the Lord, this holy abode and his glories remained unmanifest for an extremely long time. For so many, like the whole day of Brahma, the desire of this Dham was unmanifested. Kalira Prabhava Jabe Atyanta Badila Anyatitha Swabhavata Nishteja Haila Jivera Mangala Lagi Purusha Pradhan Mane Mane Chinta Kari Karila Vidhan. When the influence of Kali Yuga greatly increased and all the holy places consequently lost their power, the Supreme Lord, out of his concern for the well-being of the living beings, searched for a remedy to help them. Clear? Kali was increasing, the holy places are losing their power. Then the Lord thought, now let's look for a remedy. And that's where this Navadvip Mahima comes. Pira Bhuji Vaidya Raja Aushadha Khauyaya Kathina Aushadha Deya Kathina Pidaya Ebe Kali Ghora Haila Roga Haila Bhari Kathina Aushadha Bina Nivarite Nari. The Supreme Lord thought an expert doctor gives medicine to his patient after understanding his patient's suffering. If a patient is very sick, the doctor gives him especially potent medicine. Similarly, in the fearsome Kali Yuga, the people have developed a severe disease that cannot be cured without any extremely potent medicine. Clear? What is understanding?
For severe disease, there is potent.
Dose increase करना accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah. The doctor gives very potent medicine if the sickness is very, very severe. So likewise, Kali Yuga, people have developed a severe disease of ignorance. So he needs a potent medicine. How will these living beings attain deliverance if I will not even now manifest the name and divine form of my holy abode, which I so far have kept concealed? This is Mahaprabhu telling to himself. I have kept it concealed, so now it's time. If I don't reveal them, how will it manifest? देखी बाकी रूपे कली जीवेरा करे नाश नवदीप धामा आमी करीबा प्रकाश से धामा कलीरा भांगी बे विषादांता कीर्तना करिया जीवा करी आत्मा साथा. I will see how Kali destroys the living beings when I manifest my Navadvip Dham. In that sacred abode, I will break the poisonous teeth of Kali. Performing Kirtan, I will make the living entities my own. So what I will do? What is Mahaprabhu saying?
The effect of Kali will not be there in the Dham. I mean, Navadvip Dham.
I will.
Through Kirtan.
Mahaprabhu is telling, I will break the teeth of Kali in my holy abode. In other words, somebody goes and does bhajan there or visits there, then Kali effect will reduce on those living entities. It's like people who are deeply affected by the age of Kali. The effect will be reduced through Navadvip Dham. Recently, I was meditating, I was discussing Friday also. The Kali is very powerful. You all heard that lecture of Kadama Kadana Maharaj? You were mentioning, you shared.
The last
Yeah,
year,
you all
yes,
heard that?
yes.
What did Maharaj begin in the beginning?
Mahaprabhu's
Regulatory
fasting,
principles. Huh?
It was Mahaprabhu's fasting.
Oh, I don't remember, but from what I remember was
So it talks about
Parikshit
regulative
Maharaj.
principles.
Parikshit Maharaj, this days.
Yeah.
Yes.
How
Seven-
he had 7 days and then he met Kali and he asked
Where can I
Kali,
decide
where
these
can
four
I decide?
places? And then says, these
Then
places are not there. So where I can say, okay, these places are not there, go into the court. Because those regulative principles were getting followed that time.
so I was thinking we have to be very careful. Somehow, Krishna's mercy, I was thinking that what is the effect of Kali? Effect of Kali. What Prabhupada said, where the problem in ISKCON will come from.
Internal.
When devotees have
Between
conflict between devotees. And Prabhupada said that is the effect of Kali. And how the Kali will become very powerful on us when you break regulative principle. You have to be very careful about regulative principle. I was discussing the other day. Meat eating, we cannot give up. Why? Because so many things we eat that are gelatin. I don't know what all things are there in America. So meat eating is like, I think so many things goes inside, right? In America.
Enzymes.
So many things have animal products. I mean, some we know we avoid, those we don't know, we don't know. And then
We
there
knew
is
about that Parmesan cheese and aloo vada until we knew it, right?
then there is
Yeah,
intoxication. Do we take some kind of intoxication?
Medicine.
Medicine.
Chocolate,
Hmm.
caffeine, right? What else we take? I mean, in temple we use
No,
GBC
probably
allowed
these
it.
medicines.
Chocolate, choco chip cookies.
कुछ तो हम लोग रोज खा रहे हैं
वो कह रहा है अब थोड़ा हमने चेंज कर दिया. But just see how intoxicants we are taking, right? We are not free from it, right? Meat eating is also going on. Illicit sex, a thought is also illicit sex. Going on. Comfortably, we break all regulative principles. Gambling also must be doing only, just as you we are doing it. So what happens when these are there? Then we will find fault in devotees. That is not the fault in devotees. That is Kali entering us. Recently, I was thinking how important it is to not break regulative principles. Maharaj said, strictly follow regulative principles. There is no problem in devotees. Devotees are great. The only problem is the Kali entering us and creating quarrel and disharmony. And that will break ISKCON. Prabhupada said, when there is conflict, then center progress will be stopped. Everything will stop. And Kali has to do just one thing. Kali has to tell you through your mind. He's like this, he's like this, he's like this, she's like this, she's like this. All are useless only. Kali is doing Sankirtan now. I won. And we are all struggling. Kali will make us weak. Yogesh Prabhu always says, I would tell him, there is one devotee I had relatively much problem with in the beginning when I joined the ashram. You all know. And I'll tell, he says, problem is not in this Prabhu. Problem is in Kali. Kali is creating quarrels. Kali will break things. And that's where ISKCON will suffer. Even if not much progress, no problem. If within conflict comes, ISKCON will suffer. Why Sasrai Thakur mutt broke? What did Sasrai Thakur say? Internal conflict, the whole mutt broke, right?
Yeah.
Prabhupada says ISKCON will break when devotees don't cooperate with each other. And what did he say in the end? Cooperate, tolerate. This is all the disease of Kali. Kali will enter, Kali will break. So what we have to do, we have to be careful about the principles we follow, regulative principles, and know that devotees are great. Okay.
This कैसे प्रोजी this is good because अभी ऐसे कैसे avoid करेंगे enzyme और ये coffee related and caffeine chocolate.
Roti, sabzi, dal, chawal is the best food.
I mean, see what is needs to be done, but have faith. One day I was thinking, I was asking devotees also recently to do this exercise. Just see whatever anybody is doing. I mean, we have fault find tendency. Do you find fault in anyone or no?
Yeah.
You all find fault in somebody. Now, just think about in your mind, whatever fault we have found in them, what was their intention? Just Just think about their intention in the fault we found in devotees. Just think for a few seconds.
It's always good. You
Always
always do some
But
service.
first contemplate whatever fault we have found in devotees. Take 20 seconds and think about their intention. Why we found fault in them? What was their intention?
Actually, I mean, I always think that way, probably, like everybody has a good intention, at least in Krishna conscious. Only thing is like particular devotee wanted to do this way, other devotee wanted to do that way, and intention behind everybody is to do better only, and there's nothing like personal.
Contemplate karo, whatever fault we have recently found in devotees, what was their intention? Just contemplate. Take 20 seconds. कुछ बस सोचो, कुछ बोलो मत. See the fault we have found in devotees and see what was their intention behind that. Think about it. कोशिश करो. What do you think? Everybody is trying to serve.
Yeah.
You see, like, we all have a particular nature, but all of our intention is very great. But Kali will put finger there. Like Hemangari Prabhu, he's always trying to save Krishna's Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Like I was giving this example. The floor is not like, it got a lot of grease. One can find fault, kya kar diya. But if you see the intention of devotee, what was devotee trying to do? Clean it. हर बार intention सेवा ही होता है प्रभु जी. कोई
गलती से
नहीं, क्या है ना, कोई गलती जानबूझ के नहीं करता. जब फॉल्ट आपको फाइंड करना होता है ना, तो उसके लिए वो कारण नहीं चाहिए, उसके लिए कली चाहिए बाबा. कली अपना रोल करता है. कोई जानबूझ के किसी को नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाना चाहता. बगलोग
So I told him, we should learn our mistakes. It's not like a mistake किया, just खुद को liberty दे दो, ओ mistake हो गई, done.
वो
You should
चलेगा
take
मत.
responsibility कि गलती हुई मेरी.
हर कोई सीखता है, मैंने क्लीन किया, मुझे क्लीन
नहीं,
करना
100
पड़ा.
गलतियां मुझसे भी होती हैं, 100 गलतियां आपसे भी होंगी, आपसे भी होती हैं, पर हम लोग फॉल्ट फाइंड नहीं करते, हम लोग लर्न करते हैं. पर हम किसी से ग्रज नहीं करेंगे क्या किया इसने. और एक नेगेटिविटी नहीं आता, नहीं आना चाहिए. अगर आता है तो
प्रॉब्लम.
वो क्या है ना, चाहे हम लोग बिल्डिंग ढूंढ रहे हैं, चाहे हम लोग जो भी सेवा किया हम लोगों ने, सबका इंटेंशन एक ही है. Somewhere or the other, I mean, we have contamination. Still, we are trying to mitigate the contamination and serve Krishna. Genuinely, sincerely try कर रहे हैं. कल ही आ जाता है बीच में और वो quarrel conflict create करता है. I was just contemplating how कल ही पूरा break कर रहा है. अभी कुछ भी आता है ना मन में, तो मैं सोचता हूँ कल ही is affecting me. और कृष्णा, don't see fault in devotees.
पता भी चलता है कि गलती कर रहे हैं, but control नहीं होता तो क्या करें?
हमें pray करना है. Yesterday, I really like this. Chandrasekhar Maharaj was mentioning, we have to offer special prayers for devotees. If you heard that lecture, then immediately I was like, my Lord, please show special mercy to this devotee. Please show special mercy to this. And I was saying, please, all the devotees, please show special mercy. We just have to pray.
That is also, I feel myself very superficial in that. It is not from the heart.
जब आप
Just because we are hearing and we know, and it is all superficial. It is not coming from the heart, then how do you?
यदि आपको दूसरे भक्त का पेन को समझना हो, तभी हृदय से एक फीलिंग आएगा. जब वो हृदय से फीलिंग उत्पन्न होगा, तब आप प्रे करोगे. आपको देखना होगा कि हमारी वजह से दूसरा आदमी स्ट्रगल कर, क्या मेरे लिए करना सही है. क्या हम चाहते हैं कि लोग सफर करें, क्या हम चाहते हैं कि लोग भक्ति में आगे जाएं. और पता है केवल भक्ति से ही वो बाहर आएंगे. देखो, जैसे अगर हमारा माइंड बहुत डिस्टर्ब है, आपका जपा अच्छा हुआ, तो आप देखोगे कि आप बाहर आ जाओगे, राइट. आप सब भूल जाओगे, सब कुछ एंड के चैंटिंग पे डिपेंड करता है. When chanting goes deeper, you will not see fault in anybody. These are the ill effects of chanting also. पर आप देखो अगर कोई भक्त के अंदर किसी भी प्रकार की कमी है, अगर वो अच्छा जप कर लेगा तो आप जानते हो कि वो उससे बाहर आ जाएगा. तो हमें उसका the solution for that person to come out of whatever situation the person is going through is prayers only actually. अगर भक्ति अच्छा नहीं होगा ना, सारा प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट होगा. अगर हम लोग का जप अच्छा नहीं होगा, विल क्रिएट प्रॉब्लम्स अमंग आवरसेल्व्स. हम लोग का जप अच्छा होगा, और ये एक इंटरनल लूप है कि हम प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेंगे ना, फिर जब और खराब हो जाएगा.
फीडबैक है.
ये चलता रहता है. और ये कली कली डांसेस प्रभु जी, कली बोल रहा ये सेंटर तो मेरे कब्जे में है अभी, ये मेरे कब्जे में. ऐसे कली इज ट्राइंग टू कॉन्कर एंड वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइट अगेंस्ट कली. So we just have to be very careful with following regulated principles. We won't be able to, we will just listen to our mind. We are not beyond the mind. We are not so advanced that we can see, oh, mind is creating trouble. I have to be careful. Yeah, I'm more advanced. So
I think offenses will make us weaker, and then that will lead us into breaking the reputation. I think offenses is the cause of that.
offenses के कारण ही regular principles break होते हैं.
You can restrict yourself very strongly, but as soon as you do some offense, you can see, oh, like you have had to become so weak that you will easily.
We are very susceptible, bro. We are very susceptible to this material nature. But we have one hope. Navadvip Dham. Mahaprabhu बोले कि I'll break the teeth of Kali. Anybody who comes and visits Navadvip Dham. And hence I will make the living entities my own. I'll relieve them. Okay, I just deviated, but I thought it's
very important.
It's important to discuss about Kali. Always remember, all the devotees are very good. All the devotees are very good. इतने सिंसियर भक्त लोग होते हैं सारे, इतने सिंसियरली वो भगवान के पास जाना चाहते हैं, कितना वो जेन्युइनली एफर्ट डाल रहे हैं, मेहनत कर रहे हैं, जब कर रहे हैं, सीरियस हैं. और करेगा ना वो सब पानी में. एक छोटी सी चीज तो वो कितना वो भरे हुए. इट्स लाइक यू नो दे आर फुल ऑफ गुड क्वालिटीज. जनरली स्पीकिंग devotees are lot of good qualities. Generally speaking,
what I see, and I'm talking about myself, is I compare others with me. You know, it's like false ego, as you said, right? If I'm doing something and I see other person are not doing, this person क्या इनको और क्या होता है, ये तो करना चाहिए. That's what mind presents, right? So I compare. If I'm doing something, I think I am doing it and he's not doing it, and then I compare, and that's when fault finding tendency comes because of false ego. So false ego is rooted very strong.
I agree, Prabhuji. Yeah. Yesterday Maharaj mentioned, even if somebody makes a mistake, this question was raised by his daughter, Devati Prabhu's daughter, Rasika. And Maharaj said, even if somebody derogatory puts a comment on you, you should know if you are hurt, it is because of your false ego. And Krishna has put you in this situation to purify you. So you have to see within and see what part of my false ego is hurt. And then rectify it. But don't find in the instrument who, they may be derogatory, it's wrong from their side. They should not behave in this way or scold you or whatever they did. But then if you are hurt, then that is your false ego. This is true.
But that's what my question is. You know, sometimes we understand this way. It is like we understand that you know, it is my false ego, because of that I'm getting hurt, and we don't want that other person also to have that reaction because he hurt us. We genuinely want. We all the philosophy superficially. It is my own karma coming back to me. He is just postman. So how can I blame him? He is instrument of my own karma. It is ultimately my fault. Where what I'm suffering through. But still we feel hurt. Pain है. सारी philosophy भी है, but pain भी है. So how to deal with that? Because understand, ऐसा नहीं कि understand नहीं करते उस चीज को. We genuinely want other person not to get the, because it is said like if devotee gets hurt, the other person also gets the action. And we know that it's not his fault. He is also conditioned because of modes of nature. He is acting like that. But we are hurt. मतलब वो कंट्रोल में नहीं है ना, जो पेन हुआ या फिर जो हर्ट हुआ, इट इज नॉट इन आवर कंट्रोल टू मिटिगेट दैट, कि उस लेवल पे जाके प्लीज होके या फिर नॉर्मल होके बिहेव करे। ट्राई ऑल्सो करते हैं, बट इंटरनली कहीं ना कहीं हर्ट है, तो क्या करें?
प्रैक्टिस से रिड्यूस हो जाएगा, राइट?
Practice means
Meaning, like, let's say the beginning of Krishna consciousness, you get hurt very easily. But the more and more you are experiencing, more and more knowledge is increasing, more and more your sadhana, you're going deeper. You want that frequency will reduce, and the point will come where you will not feel hurt. So that with practice and with more and more occurrences, things will reduce. Is that right thing?
yeah, over period of time.
You will basically take those things in a different way. You will not find faults.
What I heard analogy at one place is, let's say, if you're sorry, I know we are recording, but let's say if you are running a 100-meter sprint, you're running and somebody is commenting on you, you will stop and listen to his comment, or you will reply to him, or you will keep running. So same way our run is to go back to Godhead, right? What I'm trying to say is, if somebody is commenting and somebody hurt also, we should tolerate. Why I'm saying that, because what I heard is, like, if you're going back to Godhead, he is in the other person's house. If he is displeased, you will not go back. What is the main goal? Going back to Godhead, or just whether your point is okay? Like, whenever I'm just that analogy, I always keep playing in my head. What is more important? Proving your point, or making other person get it, or going back to Godhead?
My question is, it's not like Prabhuji said, like philosophy is there, analogy is there in the heart. We know the instrument, we are at the point, everything is there. We are not, we are not trying to prove ourselves, we are tolerating, we are not saying a single word, we're just keeping quiet and tolerating. But hurt is there. And because of that hurt, I don't want that other person to get reaction, because I know that is circle. Somebody will get hurt unnecessary by my action, and I will get the reaction.
Yeah.
And it is a circle. And I know that very well. And I don't want other person to get hurt, but I am hurt. And I'm not able to, conquer that feeling, because it's not in my control. Like, how to conquer that feeling? Okay. खुद को समझा रहे हाँ, with time period.
Same question.
देखो ऐसे सोचो माता जी, our chanting get affected by that also. अगर दिमाग में किसी के प्रति कुछ फीलिंग होगा ना, हमारा जवाब भी इफेक्ट होता है ना? तो do we want our japa to be affected?
मैं वही बोली, सारी चीजें समझ आती कि जपा अफेक्ट हो रहा है। और मैं ये बोलूंगी कि इवन दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, सपोज लाइक टुडे हर्ट हुए, maybe in 2 days will be okay. We forget because we are trying to impose that philosophy on ourselves, and we understand, we tolerate. But मुझे ये कहना कि मुझे I want आंसर कि वो हर्ट ही नहीं होना चाहिए, और फिर we should immediately, how can that happen कि भले सामने वाला इंसान
शुद्ध भक्त होने के बाद,
तो देखो जब अहंकार रहेगा ना, ये तो होता रहेगा।
शुद्ध भक्त होने के बाद ही नहीं होगा वो हर्ट।
अहंकार
very high stage, I can
अदोक्षदर्शी, देखो भगवान कृष्ण अदोक्षदर्शी है, पर अदोक्षदर्शी बनना बहुत मुश्किल है।
आनंददान प्रभु सेम क्वेश्चन पूछे प्रभु महाराज को, there's a grudge in the heart and there's a good feeling, I understood everything, but still there is something in the heart, how do I overcome? There is a video anecdote of envy, remember? It's like a 7 to 8. Maharaj explains very nicely. Pura Maharaj ne bola, did you ever thrown, Prahlad Maharaj was thrown from the top and he was praying for Hiranyakashipu. So if you pray in that situation for that devotee and for pray yourself, then Krishna will, it's an opportunity for you to grow.
I was listening to Nita Mataji's lecture, and she says, जितना आपको उस पर्सन ने जितना हर्ट किया है ना, उतनी बार उनके लिए प्रे करो। सुबह उठ के प्रे करो, दोपहर को करो, शाम को करो। जब आपको फीलिंग आए कि इन्होंने मेरे साथ गलत किया, इंटेंशन अच्छा था, फिर भी वो पेन होता है। I agree with you. अभी भी so many pain it feels. So तब प्रे करो।
And वो प्रेयर भी ऐसा नहीं कि मे बी हार्ट से नहीं आ रहा है, but externally act and pray. Just act and go, my Lord, please, my Lord, please, my Lord. अंदर से नहीं आ रहा है, फिर भी प्रे करो।
स्पेशल प्रेयर्स। एक हमने प्रभु के एक लेक्चर में वो बता रहे थे कि एक बार वो एक भक्त के घर गए, तो एक भक्त लोग और वो मिलके उन्होंने वृंदावन में एक साधु को बुलाया। तो साधु आए, तो साधु के सामने उनको प्रसाद के लिए बुलाया, तो साधु ने क्या किया, प्रसाद को लिया और रसगुल्ला था पॉकेट में डाल दिया और पॉकेट छू रहा था, उसके वैसे खा लिया, दोनों हाथ एकदम और कुछ कुछ अजीब अजीब साउंड निकाल रहे हैं। तो ये भक्त अपने प्रभु को अंदर लेके गए और बोले कि प्रभु क्या है ये, साधु है ये। तो हमने प्रभु बोले परीक्षा हो रहा है आपका, आपका परीक्षा हो रहा है, भगवान आपका परीक्षा ले रहे हैं कि आप कितना इफेक्ट करते हो। तो बाद में ये गए, जो भक्त थे, जो होस्ट थे, जो फैमिली थे, वो गए, उनके चरण छुए और दक्षिणा दिए, बोले कि आने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो वो साधु पूछे कि तुम्हें अचंभित नहीं लगा, अचंबा नहीं हुआ, मैं रसगुल्ला जेब में डाल रहा हूँ, वो चोर है, मैं जहां जा रहा हूँ वहां चाशनी नीचे गिर रही है, और मेरा एक्टिविटी से तुम्हें अचंबा नहीं हुआ। तो बोले कि मुझे अचंबा हुआ आपकी एक्टिविटी से, पर मुझे आपके साधना के तप में ज्यादा फेथ है कंपेयर टू आपके एक्टिविटीज से। आई हैव मोर फेथ इन योर तप ऑफ योर साधना, जो आप साधना कर रहे हो जीवन भर, उस पर ज्यादा फेथ है मेरे को। तो बोले कि वेरी गुड। तो बोले कि मैं एक्चुअली आपका परीक्षा ले रहा था, मैं आज तक 2 हाथ से नहीं खाया, ना मैं आज तक रसगुल्ला अपनी जेब में रखा हूँ। तो मैं देखना चाह रहा था कि जो इस्कॉन के भक्त हैं वो एक्चुअली में फॉल्ट फाइंड से ऊपर है या नहीं। मुझे बहुत पसंद था ये आपसे मिलकर। वो व्रज की विभूति हैं और बहुत एडवांस डिवोटी हैं। तो ये भी हमारे भगवान की परीक्षा होती है कि हम कैसे रिएक्ट करते हैं।
We try to look at the situation like, if we pass this phase and if we tolerate, even our increasing our tolerance of it, ultimately that is the goal.
Greatness of person.
So, उसी में है.
Tolerate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hari Om. Mani Prabhu, you have something? I saw your hand went up, Prabhuji. Mani Prabhu, you had something?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, not to stop the flow, but I just, Prabhuji, I'm just still digesting like that you said about the previous point on if someone is doing an offense, and if that is like, okay, we are realizing there is an offense that devotee is committing. That is like, in our heart we have the thing false ego, so we are finding it like, okay, I understand that. But Prabhuji, like, how about like, should we need to point that like they are making an offense, or we just ignore?
Yeah, if somebody is, Prabhu's question is, somebody is making an offense, should we point out that they are making an offense, or should we just ignore? It depends upon your relationship with them and how much faith they have on you.
But then how do we decide whether that is an offense? If somebody is making an offense, I am thinking he's making an offense. That may not be offense. How do I decide that that's an offense?
Yeah, that's why I said.
Right?
That's why I said it depends upon, like, for example, child does something wrong. You have to tell them. Suppose he comes and he says something bad to you. You have to tell him. But then when you are telling him, you are telling him with love, as a well-wisher. When you have that soft corner for them and they do something wrong, you tell them. But then if you know the other person, if there is envy in our heart, even if we tell them they're doing something wrong, they will take it opposite only. You know, nature of envy? Nature of envy is whatever the other person does or says, you will find fault in them only. So there is that love and care when you tell. But
yeah. So with the intention of like love, and care, that is okay to point out or tell them.
Yeah, then you can say, especially close members.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more slides. According to the magnitude of the chanting of my names, the influence of Kali Yuga will be subdued. In other words, Kali Yuga will flee far away from the places where the holy name is chanted. How much will become free from Kali Yuga?
Magnitude of chanting? What does that mean?
Over number of rounds.
As much chanting as possible. Because what is the solution to Kali Yuga?
Holy name, chanting of the holy name.
Yeah, where does it say in Shastra? Yeah, and also in Kali Santana Upanishad, what does it say? That is one way. In Kali Yoga, this is the only means for deliverance. And where does it say Kali will be destroyed? By holy name. Kali Kalmasha Nashana. Where he says, Iti Shodakshanam Nam Nam Kali Kalmasha Nasham Natta Parantarapayo Sarvedeshu Dishyate.
This conversation between Yamadutas and Yamaraj.
This is Brahma and Narad Muni. Narad Muni says Kali Yuga is impacting everybody. There is quarrel and hypocrisy. When Brahmani says by holy name, Kali effect will be destroyed.
Even the Yamadutas are asking Yamaraj say that this 32 syllable, that is different.
Not in Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, just the name.
I think Garud Purana, I don't know. In Garud Purana, they mentioned this 32.
That is Kali Santana Upanishad.
Okay.
It is Shodakshanam Nam is Shodakshanam. 16 into 2. Nam, these 32 syllables. Kali Kalmasha Nakshanam. Natta Parantara Paya, you will not find a better way. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. If you see all the Veda, there is no better way to remove the ill effects of Kali than Nam. जो भी हो ना, जितना भी डिफिकल्टी हो, नाम को देते रहो.
Prabhuji, is it like one question on that one? I mean, obviously, holy name will destroy that, but if I don't have faith, will that effect still be there?
Faith on what?
Like Kali will destroy this. There are two things. One is basically I have faith, for example.
That holy
name, this Kali will be broken or things will be resolved, and I chant with that. The other thing is like maybe it's said, but I don't have faith, but still I'm chanting. Will the effect be the same, right? In both the cases?
Yes, potent medicine will work independent whether we know the efficacy or not. If you just take the name, even just do you feel some kind of sometimes like tornadoes in our mind?
Yes.
What you have to do is chant. You will not feel good while chanting because when the mind is not peaceful, chanting is difficult to focus. All these things, the whole loop will continue. Keep on chanting. After some time, it's like the illusion. This whole illusion created by Kali and Maya, that will disappear. And you will start seeing positive effect. That is one way to remove that tornado in the mind. Another way is you hear a lecture on a similar topic because it's about transformation of consciousness. You can do it by holy name or you can do it by Shravana. Krishna, please help me come out of it. Krishna, please help me come out of it. Please help me come out of it. And if you keep crying, next day you will be okay. Yes, yes. That is actually a tornado.
This is not good. So chant more to recover from that situation.
हाँ, और क्या ना आपको intensely भगवान को pray करना है.
For ourselves, my Lord,
हमें बाहर निकालो इससे.
Okay. I know for other person also, but we are.
आप बाहर आओगे तो दूसरा ही बाहर आ जाएगा ना. ये साथ साथ होता है.
Okay.
आप इंटरकनेक्टेड हो उस बंदे से, क्योंकि आप उसमें खामी ढूंढोगे, वो आप में खामी ढूंढेगा. ये लूप चलता रहेगा. आप बाहर आओगे, पूरा जड़ से निकल जाएगा. तो भगवान से कहना, भगवान बाहर निकालो, बाहर निकालो. रोते रहना है, कर्ज करना अपने आप को, क्या करूं क्या करूं. लाइक दैट उतना चैंटिंग होता नहीं है. लाइक दैट आप 2 मिनट चैंट करोगे, चले जाओगे. बीट्स में क्या है ना, फिर आप 2 घंटा और बैठोगे. आपको थोड़ा सा मतलब वो सैचुरेट करना है, सैचुरेट करना है. भगवान मदद करो, मदद करो. चैंटिंग इज अ मीडियम टू प्रे. आपको भगवान का आश्रय लेना है बेसिकली. मदद करो, मदद करो, मदद करो. Have you seen if you really sincerely pray, next day you recover? Anyone has seen that?
Yeah. I'm very weak in that observations, but I'm not going to that.
Guaranteed 24 hours you will recover.
That chanting is good. We see in negative also positive.
Yeah.
We don't see negative, like whatever person is doing, we always like positive अंदर आ जाता है.
सबके लिए अगर चैंटिंग अच्छा होगा ना, आपके सबके चरणों में गुर के उनका 10 लोगे. कोई बोलेगा वो भक्त, I just wanted dust of the lotus feet. This is consciousness. जब आपको consciousness अच्छा होगा ना, सबके चरणों में गिरोगे. कॉन्शियस सबको अपने चरणों में गिराओगे, इसको लात मारूंगा. क्या है ना, सब चेतना के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है.
देखने में होता है बहुत, क्योंकि मत से बहुत होता है ना. शुरू में लगता है कि सारे शुरू वक्त है, राइट. but with over period of years.
The solution for everything is chanting only. चेतना को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए अगर पहले आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है मेरा चेतना सही नहीं है, मैं अफेक्टेड हूँ, आई एम नॉट इन माई गुड हेल्थ टुडे। फिर क्या करना है कि किसी से कम बात करो, क्योंकि आप जब भी कुछ बोलो गलती करोगे वो बोलने में, क्योंकि जो अंदर होगा बाहर आएगा ही आएगा शब्दों के माध्यम से। उस दिन थोड़ा रिजर्व मोड में रहो और भगवान को प्रे करते रहो। अगर स्पिरिचुअल हेल्थ अच्छा नहीं है और ज्यादा लंबे समय तक अच्छा नहीं है, देन वी विल क्रिएट प्रॉब्लम इन इसको। और प्रभु जी बोलते हैं कि कोई भी जिसका जपा अच्छा नहीं है ना, मरने में मत रहो, क्योंकि आप पूरा फलूदा हो जाएगा, पूरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ही फलूदा हो जाएगा। इन अदर वर्ड्स यू विल क्रिएट प्रॉब्लम इन इसको। हर जगह आपको प्रॉब्लम दिखेगा। अच्छा होगा ना जपा सब जगह आप, तो बोलते हैं कि जैसे जो लोग का अच्छा साधना है ना, एकदम रगड़ रहे हो अगर आप अपने भक्ति में, तब आप करोगे ना, इफेक्ट होगे तो भी आप एकदम बाहर आ जाओगे, क्योंकि आपका साधना स्ट्रांग है। तो बस साधना स्ट्रांग रहेगा तो यू कैन फेस द हीट। नहीं तो गिर जाएंगे हम लोग कहीं में। ऑलराइट,
इसलिए जो लोग हॉट सीट पे बैठे हैं उनको
ओके, दिस इज द लास्ट वर्स। जानवर निताय पड़ छाया जारा आस से भक्ति विनोद करे ए तत्व प्रकाश, डिजायरिंग टू अटेन द कूलिंग शेड ऑफ श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु एंड श्री जानवर देवीज लोटस फीट, भक्ति विनोद इज रिवीलिंग दिस ट्रुथ। एक बस पहले खत्म कर लेते तो हम लोग आराम से डिस्कशन करते। ओके, ऑलराइट, थैंक यू ऑल devotees for joining. We'll end here. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो दंड pranams. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We are ending here.